50 flavors. Is it like supposed to change flavors as you drink it? 50 flavors in one. Because that time it tasted like Fruity Pebbles. I don't know if they can make Fruity Pebbles taste like pop. It just did. Ah, good evening, YouTubers. What's happening? I even look to see who's live, who isn't live, what's happening. I'm just hanging out. I'm gonna give Hootie Patootie what's going on. Choking. My girl. I'm a rookie. Watching the sunset. Where are you, my friend? Supposed to head up to the mountain today, but Emmy wasn't feeling so hot, so we're gonna head up tomorrow. I'll have a little video for you guys tomorrow, some footage or something of our area. Can't wait to start doing some cooking vids. Almost. Got a few more things to do, and then we'll start our vacation stuff. So forth and so on. Cold out tonight. Sunny but cold. She's doing good. She's had a rough day. She was sick and tired. All that fibromyalgia and everything kind of got to her today. So, like right now, we should have been up at the mountain, kind of hanging out with my mom. See, my mom's up there camping. She's got a camper up there and stuff, a trailer. And there's you can't, she's like me. She cooks on open fire. And right now, you can't have a fire up there. So I gotta bring up my gas oven that's got, hey Mama Rock, my gas oven, it's like a convection oven, but you can put a Dutch oven inside the top of it and cook in your Dutch oven. So I gotta take her up, hey, hiya. Anyway, I gotta take that up to her so she can cook while she's camping for the rest of the week. But we should have been up there tonight, but Emmy she goes up and goes down, and goes up and goes down, and right now she's down. Hey, Boomerang's Raid. Hey, what you doing, Boomer? Hey, guys. Thanks for popping in. I was just doing a little video. Figured I'd come on. I like sitting by the fire, but it's a little early. I had it going today, so I'm just sitting outside watching the sun drop behind the trees here. Yep, yep. Kyoko! All my peeps are in here. My Boomer peeps. It sure is nice out, man. It's like that beginning summer weather, where it's kind of feels like fall or early spring, but it's sunny out. I don't know how to describe it. Just kind of quiet, you know, just a few birds chirping. Like you can almost smell people cooking dinner. Little breeze. Probably hear some of my wind chimes tapping away over there. I don't know if you can or not, but they are. So tomorrow we should have some video of us heading up the mountain and up at the mountain. It's only like a 30, 40 minute drive. It ain't nothing really. But Emmy wasn't up for it today. Loud, yes we can. Oh, cool. They're wiggling right now, but they ain't chiming. Next breeze, they'll probably chime. They're what? Oh, what are they? About 20 odd feet from me, I think. Looks like Cab 7. I didn't watch his video, but I was on it for when it started, and it just looked like he was home and safe. So that's the power of prayer there. You had a lot of people pulling for you there, Cab. Guy couldn't watch a video without seeing it. Next time you want to hog up the tubes, do it on your own time. I've been watching the great entertainment you've been posting. Yeah, yeah. Past couple days, yeah, it was like a Jerry Springer show. He's a great guy. Much love, Cab. Yeah, Cab 7's great. Good people. So Godspeed, Cab. Here's to a speedy recovery. I don't know what you're doing about smoking, but maybe the rest of us will all make the right choices. I'm trying to. I'm taking Chantix right now, so I got a goal. If I reach that goal, I'm putting that damn cigarette out. That's that. I also got an incense burning over here, so it looks like I'm in a cloud of smoke. That's why. I love this stuff. It's called, there's one that isn't burning. It's called Pinon. Pinon. And these are how you want to get them. They're unscented. It just smells like a southwestern fireplace, you know, or anybody's fireplace, I guess. If your nose is finely tuned, it would smell like a New Mexico, you know, southwestern mesa kind of fireplace. But there's no perfume added. It's just compressed wood. There it is. And you light it. You stand it on end. And even when you don't have a campfire, you got a campfire. Hey, check this out. Come on, baby. Come on, I ain't gonna hurt you. Come on. And we got a little friend too, huh? Mm-hmm. She wants to run around quick. Now she's hiding back in there. Alright, now here's a bush. You wanna go in the bush? Here. There you go. Would somebody say something? There's bronchitis. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think he's in his 60s, so that could be tough. Oh, his coat's a little big. So, man, I got teenage boys in my house. I shouldn't say that. I got one that's 21. I got one that's 18, and I got my daughter that's 17 years old. Now she can't do no wrong, basically. You know how that goes. But anyway, I had one beer left. Now, I don't drink much. And the other night, You guys seen me about a 6 pack of cold ones, and I cracked them, and they were really good. It actually started about a week, the night my son graduated. We went over to my friend's house, and while I was sitting by the fire, he's like, "Hey, you want a beer?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, if you're having one." And I haven't had a drink since New Year's, and I haven't had a beer in years. I just drink like rum and coke. That's kind of my thing, you know. But so he come down, he brought me a nice cold beer, and I didn't even know what it was. It was something different. I cracked it open. I was like, damn, that was nice. In fact, I had two of them. So because I had such a nice evening with those two beers, I went out and bought myself a 6 pack. And I had a friend come by, and he had one. I think I, I think I drank three and spilled one, something like that. I had four and spilled one. Anyway, I had one golden, beautiful beer left in the fridge. And I go in that fridge and I try to get my table set up out here. I says, I'm going to sit outside. I'm going to go live. I'm going to have myself a nice cold beer and watch the sunset. And I get my everything set up out here. And I go inside and I open up that refrigerator and that beer isn't there. Now, the other day, my daughter and my wife are joking around going, Cheyenne drank your beer because Mama said go get one of our, you know how we drink those Bulldog root beers. My daughter goes, "Oh, Mom says go get a root beer," and I took yours by accident and drank it. And we all giggled and whatever. But I opened that fridge up and I didn't see that beer, and I'm like, "Oh my God, my daughter took my beer." Well, nobody's home but my wife, so I went right in my wife's room, and I'm like, "Honey, somebody took my beer. My last beer after I don't ever have beer in the house, and somebody took it." No, nobody took it. Ba, 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 ba. I says, "Baby, somebody took my beer." And I walked into one of my kids' rooms, and on his desk in front of his monitor is my empty beer bottle. My 18-year-old son thought that it was okay for him to crack one of my beers like it was New Year's Eve. Oh, we're going to have a chat when that boy gets home from work. Whoa, he thinks because he's got a job or something or graduated high school, he can crack daddy's last beer. You know, there's an ongoing rule in my home. If there's one Pepsi in that refrigerator and you touch that damn thing, my wife will come at you with a frying pan in a hollering, crowing voice that will reach down in your to your ancestors. And I never have a beer in my house, and I had a cold beer, and my boy thought he could take it. Yep. But if you want to know what I did, you can go ahead and message me on Facebook. I'll tell you get a good kick out of it. Yeah, but we're gonna have a talk. I'm drinking a Pepsi watching the damn sunset go down. Hmm. And it ain't Mama's last one either. Oh no, this is a Mountain Dew actually. So yeah. I don't know what's happening, man. I don't know what everyone's doing. I'm on kind of early for me. Mmm, that sounds nice. Mm. I hear a dove out in the trees a little bit. You guys probably can't hear it, but You know, I am not Italian or his mom. Yes, dear, I know. I know. You give me a beer, Carla, you're a sweetheart. Boy, my wife said, I tell you what, she goes, I see you blocking people in his room. You better not block that Carla. I like her. She's my friend. And she says, you won't worry about it, baby. I'm not blocking Carla. Yeah. You know, Carla's one thing, talking to her in chat, but when you actually see her on video and you hear her sweet little voice, you can't help but love Carla. Just regular, yeah, regular old stripper. Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine ever arguing with Carla as a spouse because she's got the sweetest voice. See, my wife gets tough. My wife can get tough. Some girls, they just their voice, and even when they're mad, they're freaking cute. You can't do nothing about it. You just like, okay, she's mad. And, it's like a big old bear or something. And you're like, okay, fine. That works when she's sweet, but when she gets spicy, you can't do nothing but hide. You done fucked up if she gets spicy. Not Carla, but Emmy. Because Emmy's the same way. She's sweet as can be. But if you get her spices up, boy, that chili's gonna burn your ass. And that's the God's honest truth. I'm sinking in my chair over here. My hubby would laugh at that one. Yeah, he's probably seen you all kinds of mad. He gets a different side of you, I'm sure. But I don't know. I can't see it because you just got the soft. It's not charisma. Let's see. God dang it. Can't think of that word. Persona. Maybe that's it. Soft persona. It's like that little Dreamland. I don't know if you ever seen Dreamland. If you ever seen her on cam, it's like someone like that. It's like even when they're pissed off, you just you know, couldn't retaliate because they're just too soft. But Emmy boy, she gets going. I get a good old argument with her because she fights right back. Wow, she's spicy. She's like a jalapeno jar. That's Emmy. She's like a box of chocolates with a couple of ghost peppers hidden in there. Yeah. Oh, I want to get my fire going, and I kind of want to put it right here in front of me and go live with the fire, but I'll show you. Like, this is like the 140-foot tree that's above me right now. The branches are hanging pretty darn low. I'm sitting in my chair. If I lit that fire going right now in front of me, I'd be foolish. So that's why at night I sit over there away from this tree. This is just one branch. That's how low it's hanging. Sue Nelson. How you doing, girl? That's a girl who likes fat wood and fire and all that. I bet she follows Slisha Shell. Shlisa Shell. She's into fat wood and all that. But Sue Nelson's a fellow Oregonian. Good. Good, good, good. She lives in a beautiful area up there. She might be in Washington. I can't remember. But in one of the gorges. And it's just beautiful. Yeah, yep. Washington. Okay, that's right. Yeah, I know the area. I just couldn't think of it at the moment. See, like right now, it's probably like a nice summer's evening, and she's got snow-capped mountains just on the other side of her. I'm doing great, man. I've been doing some lives with a couple fires. I was fussing with somebody, so I had a couple drama lives. But I was sitting outside, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna sit outside today and watch the sun go down. And it's actually dropped down behind the trees now. So now I got like all this golden, you know what it looks like in Oregon in the northwest when the sun falls down on the trees. It's just beautiful. All the leaves get like all the thistles, whatever, have like golden light peering through them. The only thing it's missing is the smoke from a nice campfire, making them all beamy. You know, I like that. But yeah, we're supposed to head up Mount Hood tomorrow. We're gonna go up to our resort. My mom's up there. We're gonna go up there. I love stuff like that. Yeah. But anyway, we're gonna go up to the resort tomorrow and visit mom and bring her. So everything's on a fire ban right now in the forest. You can't burn. Here is sweet Emmy. I want to pay for the stone also saved for me. Huh? Well, she's sleeping, but um, I don't think she'll take any money until she's sending it out or something. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know. I'll let her know. All that jewelry and stone stuff is hers. But I'll tell her, call her, I was asking about some stone that you saved. So who's in here? Is Mike Earl still in here or what? I think there was a lot of people on. So. Sorry. Stuff tickles my throat. Man, there's this little birdie bird that sits on top of this tree, like in my neighborhood, couple neighbors down. That's probably 100-foot tree. Every time I look over there, man, I swear I see the same little. I'd show you, but the bird's about this big, and he's up there in a little branch that curls over. Now I see another one on a different tree, but it's kind of funny. It's like that must be his tree, like his spot to hunt from or something, because I probably could show you, but who the hell's interested in that? I'm just gonna listen to my pond splash, watch the clouds go by so I can have a fire tonight. Gonna play my guitar too. If only we were a Chevy. Grizz is live. That stinks. I would have seen Grizz. He's an Oregonian too. I think it's Grizz270, I think is what his name is. He's live right now. GRIZZ270, I believe. He's a little mountain boy from here in Oregon. My hubby is gone right now to Tongue River, resolve with his yearly fishing. Carla's trying to hit him over. She wants one of those massages that I'm known for. But I'm married, darling. I'm married. You gotta get M to say okay for that. I'm totally kidding. Wait. I'm kind of irritated. I reached in the drawer to put my watch on, and it's a Invicta. You know, you see them sold on TV and stuff, those watch shows. But anyway, I took it into the shop here like a month ago because one of the pins fell off in the wristband. What is your goal, JMAC? What? Quit smoking? Well, something I want for my wife, and when I get that, that's when I'm gonna quit. But I don't want to say everything, but I got a goal. I'm taking a medicine right now. I'm taking Chantix, so I can quit pretty much if I wanted to. But there's something I'm waiting on doing with my wife, and it's kind of like the next step in our journey, so to speak, in a way. And so, oh, see, I almost put that thing in my crotch. That would have been 50 flavors, 50. That would have been 50 flavors in one Mac crotch. Right here, 50 flavors in your crotch is what it would have been. But anyway, um, I'll tell you in a message. You got me on Facebook, I think. I don't know. If I do, I can't remember your name. But if you got me on Facebook, just beer better beefy. No, it's just Mountain Dew thing. My kid stole my beer. I had one beer in the fridge. And I never have beer. That's what gets me. Like, what made him think he could steal my beer? It didn't even seem like he was trying to hide it. Like, he just took it like, Dad ain't gonna care that I took his only beer he's had for a year in the fridge. Hmm. Yeah. All I can say is if you're gonna do things like that, you shouldn't leave any gifties on your desk when I come into your room. Because now they're my gifties. See what you got to say about that. Do. Yeah, Carla, I tell you, I don't want to tell it on open chat, but it's something that I've had planned for a long time. I'm just gonna get her done. It's a good thing. You been your daughter? Remember that day your grandson came in the room? That was cool. Good night. Right on. Yeah, I don't drink very often. You know, around New Year's, I usually get like a pint of Captain Morgan's, and I'll get like a six-pack of Coke, and I'll drink that pint, and maybe another one after that. Not a pint, but a couple of drinks if my friends got some. So I'll do that, and then just around the holidays, like if it's a Christmas or something, maybe one drinks. And then if it's some kind of party that you got invited to or something random, I may have some, depending on what's there. But I don't drink beer or anything like that. So if they're not serving, like, if we go to the cooler and there's beers or there's pop, I usually take a pop. Okay. Yeah, I like my beer, but limited. I generally drink Captain Morgan's and a Coke. So if y'all ever want to send JMAC gifties, send Captain Morgan's or wind chimes. It's the kind of guy I am. I got a collection. I got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got about four, oh no. I got about maybe 16 different wind chimes going around my house. But I want more. I want them from all different places. I'll be glad to pay shipping and handling if anyone finds something. But yeah, anyway, Emmy does crystals, I do wind chimes. It's the softer side of me. But I forget where I was going with all that. But yeah, I just drink a little bit here and there. I used to tie it on like a freaking, like a moonshining hillbilly, but I don't do that no more. Got in one of my videos, a couple of my favorites I showed. I like, some of them are like $40, some of them are a little more. I like the little ones too, you get at Walmart. Some of those can be cute. And I like the deeper tones. But sometimes they get kind of spendy. But you can get them like in like tourist places and cool places. Not too bad. I usually spend it like around $40 and then up. Right now I have a copper one and a bamboo on the porch. Yeah, the bamboos are kind of cool. They're kind of like a neat beach sound, Like, I think the tropical beach was just like a couple of those things. Knocking, boop, boop, boop. It's different sound than the metal ones. Those are cool. Sometimes the seashell ones are cool if they're in the right place and they get the right breeze. They're a little heavy, so they gotta have a good breeze for them. Man, I'm bored. Amy don't feel so hot, so she's laying down. She was throwing up today, and she's having all kinds of issues. Your video was awesome. Oh, the wind chime one, yeah. I have a glass, what? I have a glass one of the I don't hang outside. Oh, yeah. So, I got $1 million idea. It would make fortunes. I just don't know how to produce it. So, if you know what a weather wizard is, it goes up and inside the house runs on a wire. Then inside the house, it tells you your weather for the week and your wind right now, and so forth and so on. Well, I want to take that technology, but make it Bluetooth, because everything's Bluetooth now. So it'd be easy to do. And you put a wind gauge on your roof, and then inside your house somewhere, you can hang your wind chime. Now these wind chimes, in the top part, will have a little rubber thing or a little motor or something. The rubber thing will be down below, I guess. Okay. So whenever the wind blows, say you set it for 5 miles an hour, you'll get a light. It'll tap the bells lightly. If it goes up to say 10-mile-an-hour wind, it'll hit them more heavily. And you can adjust it so it doesn't drive you batty, but Um, that way you can bring your wind chimes indoors, and they really react with the actual wind that's outside. So I think that's cool. Like right now, it's not windy, so your chime would not be, it just wouldn't be ringing. And it kind of brings that breeze and that wind chime noise inside your house. You can set it off somewhere where you hear it, but it's not super loud. Yeah. And it's realistic because we've got one that's in a teapot. You turn the thing on, it's got a little motor, and it rings the chimes in the teapot, but it's constantly and every couple of seconds, whereas this other one would ring only at certain wind points. You can set it 6.3 mile an hour and make it do this or that. And if it was a really strong wind day, you could adjust it, mute it, whatever. I don't think this thing's scrolling anymore. But anyway, I think those would sell like hotcakes. And the technology's cheap. You got a little motor that moves the chime around to hit the bells, the pipes, and then the Bluetooth technology from the Weathered Wizard. That was my $1 million idea. Emmy laughs at me, but I think it would really sell. I just need to I would have to find someone to put to it though. But they don't want that. They want you to invest in it, sell it, then they buy it. But I don't know. I could probably make it, create it, sell it locally, and then see what happens. I might do it early night. Maybe no fire. I don't know. Just head up to the mountain tomorrow. Keep looking at my hand. It's scarring kind of weird. So I was bragging about your cooking videos and how awesome they are. My kids want me to put my cooking out there, but after watching yours, I don't know how to even do that. Well, that's just a different style. That's okay. It's healing up. It's just got like some raised kind of scarring that's just kind of weird, but and then that one's healing up. It's healing up good, better than it was. So. And I got good grip. I actually played my guitar. I think it was yesterday. Picked it up for the first time, and I was like, "Hey, all right." Because this finger was kind of weird. I don't have a lot of feeling down in here in this end of it, and the doctor thought, and I could squeeze my fist when I couldn't do it before because it would hurt up here and pull my skin, but I can do it. And the guitar, and of course you got the neck in there, so you don't have to close it that tight. You're gonna be able to squeeze to do the chords. Hey, Becca. You got to squeeze to do the chords and stuff. But anyway, I picked up my guitar. I was playing good. I could feel my fingertips, so that's all good. And just gonna work on some speed. But that's about it. I told my wife the second it happened, I said, that damn dog tore me up. No, it didn't. I says, bullshit. He chewed the hell out my arm, my hand. Or she did. She kicked my ass. Man, I really want to go up the mountain today. Remember when you would go on road trips and I was the only one there? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, tomorrow. I'm not sure what time we're heading out, but we're on a little road trip up towards the mountain tomorrow, and then we'll probably be up there for the evening. Maybe not have dinner and then come home, and then I think Saturday night we're going up for dinner. Excuse me, and they're gonna stay up there. But yep, yep. My mom's up there camping, so we're gonna go up and hang out with her. What you doing, Becca? Yeah. Oh yeah, it's nice. Is he still bugging you? Or did he go on his way? See, I'm gonna light one of these incense now. You just kind of light it, and then that's it. Stand it up. And it just smells like a real nice campfire. There's no perfumes. I had to block them. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you can be persistent. Well, you made the right choice, hon. And that's not just because I'm pissed off at him or irritated with him, but that's the truth. There it is. He hasn't tried contacting me since early yesterday morning. Okay. That's it. It's Pinion. It comes in a box of 40 or 100. And that's it. You just set it up, and it just smells so good. Just like just a campfire. Just like a cozy campfire. That's it. I love it. I'm glad people opened up my eyes about him before it was too late. Yeah. Yeah, there's too many risks involved there bringing him home. I couldn't believe all the girls, the extra girls that were coming out talking about he took me for this money, that money. I think we ended up adding up like $1,400 just from the other night. 2 or 3 different girls. Way too many, and he lies nonstop. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think he blocked me on his TikTok. It's like I want to see him singing to himself all day anyway. I just got to see, not even making me have a cigarette. I got irritated because he was accusing me of shit, but then I'm like, while we're at it, I'm sitting there watching all these girls get hurt. It's kind of annoying too, you know? I can't think of anybody else that has any kind of situation like that where they're all over YouTube. You know, things happen in marriages or whatever, you know, but nobody is so blatant, right out in the open. It makes you feel bad. Hey, I was just talking about you, Grizz. What's up, buddy? Hey, J-Mac, bro. You know, I got to thinking about that. I mean, it would be neat to have something that somebody handmade, you know, but I think I seen those at like Cabela's, and they were like, I don't know, 20. Didn't pay no attention to it. And then once I seen the guy, I cook on Dutch ovens and stuff. In fact, right now I got my camera propped up on my Dutch oven table. I cook on with charcoal and everything. And hang on, my ears were burning. I wanted to say hey and thank you again. Yeah, no problem, Becca. No problem. Enjoy your evening, hon. Yeah, let me mod you. because you've been really nice and so forth. That way, nobody can block you. I'll stay in touch. There you go. You should be blue now, I think. Yep. Hey, wasn't Grizz blue? There you go. Yeah, have a good night. Yeah, Grizz is blue. Becca, Carla. I think I got it, everybody. Yeah, you have a good night, darling. So, anyway, Grizz, I think I seen him um, somewhere, and I see you cooking it kind of like a stir fry, and I'm like, I like that because you put some home fries or something in the middle, and then all around the edge, I got visions of doing eggs, and then outside of that, bacon, so the grease runs down into the potatoes, the starch eats it up, and I was like, yeah, man, I kind of like that, and it's not as steep as a wok. Yes, I seen factory made ones, if I remember right, about $50. Okay, probably depends on what brand. But I thought it was neat, with the horseshoes and all that. And then with somebody making it for you is pretty cool. So my fire pit is is the same thing as yours. I got mine up on a pedestal, like for the umbrellas, the old cast iron pedestals. Shut up, you're making me hungry. Yeah, that's how I would do it because the potatoes take longer, right? So you use golden potatoes. You don't use russets because russets are really starchy and they stick and everything. So you get the golden potatoes. You do a little bit of oil in there and a little pepper. You don't want to salt, until towards the end. But you season them paprika. You get that color in there. And you toss them about with the oil. You get a little pile going. You let those cook for about, I don't know, in like that. I would cook them on an open fire, probably 3 or 4 minutes per. I would do like 3 segments of that before I stirred it. So about 3 minutes per rest. Stir it 3 minutes. Stir it 3 minutes. You cut them all small and even. That's the key. You gotta cut them even and evenly sized. Hey, Sherry V. Love you too, hon. But you cut them all evenly sized so they cook even. That's really important. And then once those get cooking, maybe on their, I don't know, maybe after their second, I mean their first turn, I would lay the eggs in circles all around those potatoes. You could probably do a dozen eggs, maybe more for people. And then above that, once the eggs start to whiten up, that's when you throw the bacon on that hot pan in there. Around the outside of that, let all that grease come in, and those potatoes will soak that up. The eggs will cook. Yeah, you can even throw some peppers in there with your potatoes. I do a mountain man breakfast, and the way I do that is I do potatoes on the well, I do my bacon separate, and I get it mostly done, and I lay the pan with the bacon, and then on top of that I do potatoes and get those cooked right. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's all the seasoning. Yeah, that just depends how you want to season. You season it to taste. So I got the bacon, I got the potatoes, then I throw my meat sausage in there. Um, I take my Italian sausage and I sear it, and I take scrambled eggs. I'll scramble up like 8, 10 dozen eggs. You scramble them up, and then you take your sausage and you pour that on top of your potatoes when your potatoes are done. You pour your eggs in there, liquid eggs, all stirred up on top of that. You sprinkle your sausage in, and you cook that. You put the lid back on it. You put your charcoal on top until your eggs start to solidify, and then what you do is you take that top back off and you throw all your cheddar cheese and everything on top of that. Then you seal it, and you just let the cheese melt. And once the cheese is melted, you set it off to the side, and then you let it cool long enough so you can cut it like a pie. You know what I mean? Where it's plenty warm enough to eat, but you let it sit for a while, and because Dutch ovens really hold their heat, so it takes a little while to rest. But you cut it like a pie and you put it on everyone's plate. There's bacon, potatoes, eggs, sausage, cheese, whatever. I know. Yeah, I forgot. I also have onion in there. I saute onions in olive oil, um, and I think they're around. Put it in your Dutch oven, man, and once you get that cheese on it, it kind of seals it like a cake, and then you just gotta let it cool, because the hamburger and stuff and I mean, excuse me, the sausage is a little greasy. So you got to make sure the potatoes, like it's almost like a chicken where it reabsorbs the juices. It's awesome, man. I got pictures of it. I can show you somehow. But I used to cook it by itself, layer by layer by layer. And if you do it that way, it's absolutely delicious. But you better be camping or have a whole day because it's like a 3 hour process if you do it like that. It just takes a long time. But to speed that process up, you cook your bacon separately. You get it mostly done so it's kind of floppy, but it's edible. Then you put that in your pan first. You do the same with your potatoes. You get most of your potatoes going, and once the potatoes are kind of soft, that's when you can put those in there, and they'll start to absorb some juices and things like that. Because if you put the potatoes in raw and you cook it, you're talking about a long time, especially when you start burying them and putting them in stuff. So I'd usually do the potatoes and the bacon separate, and the onions. I'll saute the onions, but if you're any kind of cook, you can saute onions in a couple of minutes. You just want them translucent with some seasoning. And then once you've got your cake, once you've put your potatoes in there, you take a spatula and you push it around so it touches all the edges. That's when you pour your eggs on top. So when your potatoes are kind of soft and they're exactly how you want to eat them, you put them in the Dutch oven. You push it down with the spatula. You squish it out to the sides. You make it like a cake. Then you pour your eggs, your scrambled eggs with your sausage on top of that, seasoned to taste. But if you salt your eggs right then, what happens is salt will break down your eggs and they'll make them even more liquidy. So if you're trying to make like a scrambled egg, I learned that from Ramsey, by the way. So, and I tested it one day. It actually made a difference. So once the eggs are solidified, you get your sausage in there. Then there goes the cheese. Yep, and in the cheese on top, you can throw green peppers, chives. I've done something similar, but instead of potatoes, I use leftover cornbread with eggs, sausage, etc., and cheese on top, and baked it in Dutch oven. Yeah. Now, if you like Dutch oven cooking, you know what a dump cake is, right? You go in there and you grab yourself one of your wife's cake mixes and a can of peaches or whatever fruit you like. You mix that thing up. You dump it in your Dutch oven. Throw in, like, if it's a vanilla cake, you also throw in a can of root beer, and you'll get that rise and that little bit of root beer flavor in there. And then you just throw it in your Dutch oven with your fruit in the bottom, and that's it. Put your coals on it and just let it cook for about an hour or whatever it is. Lift up your lid now and then. You'll see your cake goldening up and getting crusty. Just pick yourself up an old stick up off the ground, peel off the bark, stick it in there, and when it comes out dry, boom. Get yourself a dessert sitting by the campfire side, and everyone thinks, woo-hoo, he knows what he's doing. Yep. Oh, I love camp cooking, man. Forget about it. Camp cooking's good. Do the same thing with chicken. You can take a whole chicken and put it inside of a Dutch oven with your potatoes, with your carrots. That isn't scrolling. Oh, wow. Hi, caller by caller. Um, it's good to know about salting the eggs. Yeah. Jay, did you see my message about making bread? No, I didn't, caller. I'm sorry. Let me scroll up. My new thing is making homemade, no-knead bread. I have made regular cheddar cheese oatmeal, whole wheat, honey, and raisin cinnamon bread. That's cool. I do make bread, but I just make an Italian loaf bread. So, which basically is you got your water, your yeast, your salt. You get your dough going, you let it rest, punch it down, let it rise again, and then I take some cornmeal and I throw it out on a thing. And anyway, I roll out my bread. I roll it up and I make it about yay long, my dough. And I take a cool rag and I put it over that and I let it rise for, I don't know how long it is, maybe 30, 40 minutes. Then I take my knife and I slit it like 3 times and I do a egg white topping. So I take a little bit of water, like a teaspoon of water in the egg white of one egg, and I mix it all up. And then I take my little brush and I just butter, before I put it in the oven, I brush the egg white mix over the top of the bread, and then I bake it in the oven. Whatever, it's just like an Italian bread or French bread you get at the store. It's the same thing. Yeah. Get out of here, stray cat. You've been pissing on everything. I see you. Get out of there. Yeah, you ain't afraid of nothing. He's not moving. What? Awesome. Yeah. So I do that, and I wanna do some like more primitive cooking, like literally with the water that I'm cooking with, I'm getting out of a stream. You're gonna see some videos like that. Um, I'll probably make some. I could probably make some bread right at a campsite. Very primitive. Right outside all day. It'd be about as natural as you can go. I'll get water from the stream. You can drink our water easy. Try using a Swedish torch for campfire cooking. It will burn 2 to 4 hours without adding more wood. Now, is that thing where it's a log that's been X'd so many ways, like halfway down or something? I forget how. I've seen them in the stores, but then I seen the old boy make one once with his chainsaw, I think. And then you put some stuff in the middle and it burns from the way out and it shoots up. And I've also seen people do what they call a jet oven with some bricks. That's pretty cool too. But those jet ovens are cool, but you really I kind of gotta control my heat in some of my dishes. If you watch my cooking videos, you see some of them are like gravies, and you can't just torch the hell out of that stuff. You gotta cook it kind of easy. It's not scrolling no more. Yeah, try using a Swedish torch for campfire cooking. I'm gonna Google that. If it's what I think it is, I'm gonna go into Cabela's and grab me one when we start camping here in a minute. Actually, they got them. Shoot, I think they got them at Fred Meyer's even. If they did good, they'll have them again. They were about yay tall. There's a piece of wood it was X'd out all different ways. I think it had a chain around it. And you heat your oven to 450 and heat the vessel also with top on it, so it's like the whole oven. Oh, nice. See, I wanted to talk, but I usually cough 3 or 4 more times after, so. One of my goals, it'd be cool if I could do it this summer, but I love pizza, and I like making my own pizza. And if you can make bread, you can make pizza. So, what I want to make is a fire roasted pizza oven. And the ones that I've seen them make they're kind of temporary, they make them out of earth and stuff, and They're only good for a little while and they break down. But I want to make one like you need the wood that bends, just thin wood, and you make your dome, and then you stick it. It comes out so it looks like an igloo kind of thing, and I need it deep enough. So yeah. Oh, a pizza stone, but I'm talking about the oven. Anyway, you make it big enough. You have to take a stand where you take your wood and you make like a 4x4 stand with 4x4 feet and all that, and then you put sand inside of it. That's your base. Then you start to build your. I guess maybe you put concrete on top of that. I'm not sure, but anyway, you start to make your igloo out of this bending wood, and then I gotta find some kind of heat. It's like a heat-friendly clay or some kind of, I don't know what it is, stucco or something. And you start forming the edges and everything. You leave the wood because what happens is when you fire it up the first time, you actually burn all that wood that's in the frame right there. So, and that way I can make my family pizzas all the time. With, you make your fire inside, you get your oven nice and hot, you throw in your cornmeal, and you can make, I want to be able to make 16-inch pizzas, like a family pizza. But I got to make the oven. It's got to have a little chimney in the back. But I don't think it's that hard to do. I just got to figure out which products I need. Hey, hey, Benny! Now I make a pizza oven, wood-fired pizza oven, and because I know my family would love it. I should try to do a small one or something. You can buy them, I guess. I've seen them where you can buy these little stone ones, and you can make like, a little 10-inch pizza. Like I've seen them on like is it Wayfair or something? It's like a miniature pizza, miniature wood-fired pizza oven. That'd be cool. And you could take it with you and camp with it, make pizza and that kind of stuff. But I want to make one that's in my yard that I can enjoy all the time. Because I will. I'll be out here in the winter making pizza. Do all the dough and everything inside. Come outside, get the wood all fired up. Have a cigarette, a smoke bowl, get the fire going. When the dough's ready, make it all up inside and just slip it in the oven. You got 450 or so. Keep it hot for the length of the pizza, 20 minutes, and that's it. You're back in the house, enjoying it with your family. But I am going to be doing some cooking in the forest. I'm going to get my water right out of the stream. I'll let you guys, I'll film that. So um, everything will be as natural as possible. In Oregon now, I kid you not, it's legal to eat roadkill. So if you're driving along, you hit yourself a deer, if your car's still drivable, you're allowed to throw it in the back of your truck and go home and eat it up. Or you just seen one that's fresh. Because, some of the meat gets ruined, but some of it don't. Hey, Rand, how are you, buddy? How are you? Up here, it's a little bit cool tonight. I was going to sit by the fire, but figured I'd just plop myself here from a tree. We're going up the mountain tomorrow. See some people, some relatives. I gotta bring it. gas thing up to my mom. Oh, Carla's sweet. Oh yeah, all good people. I don't ever have any bad people come in. I think in all my years, as far as typing stuff in a live chat, I've only had 2 or 3 incidents. Now, see, now that I've said that, some asshole's gonna go, "Oh yeah, he's getting ready to go back to the hospital. Visiting hours are up, and he needs to get on his pick." Oh, he just come home for a minute. Yep, that's pretty cool though. That makes things a whole lot easier. It makes it just makes for a happier stay. Happy patient's a healthy patient, right? So, sorry, I keep moving. My coat's a little long. It bunches up. All right, Carla, love you. We'll catch you later. Yes, I've gotten 2 road-killed deer so far. You must in the head to. Oh wow! Hell yeah, buddy. You ever got any deer meat? I'll definitely drive down there for some of that. Cook me up a couple of straps or something. You bet. I'd be like, baby, we're taking a ride. Oh boy, got some meat. I say that because I don't hunt. I'm not a hunter. But, but I love to cook and I love deer meat of any kind. Whether it, I mean, everyone loves steaks and all that, yes. But I'll take it anyway. I'll take it in. I thought Carla was supposed to send me a bunch of meat. Now that I think about it, the stinker. Was it Carla or was it Paige? Maybe it was Paige. Somebody was close. They were supposed to send me a bunch of meat and I was going to pay the shipping and handling, but it never happened. But anyway, yeah, I don't deer hunt. I did it once. The thing screamed like a woman, and I just not. It's not my thing. I don't mind fishing, but I really don't want to go hunting. Oh, okay, Carla. But yeah, any one of my friends got some deer meat they could part with? Absolutely. I love venison. I'll cook it like it's from the queen, but get my hands on it's kind of tough sometimes. Any kind of meat, I like any kind of exotic meat like that. I'm down for it. As long as it ain't your uncle or some shit. Oh, it was Carla. I told you I'll send you. I'll send you if you tell me how. How, Carla? Shit, you got me on Facebook? We will pay shipping and handling. What you got? You need my address? You got my address, don't you? Shit. You're making my toes tickle. My toes are going. Grizz, I had 3 fresh roadkill in my yard yesterday. They just don't know. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 'cause you got that busy road right there. I bet trucks nick them now and then. You like on a turn or anything? I never realized it. Then you went live one day, and I'm like, God damn, that was like an 18-wheeler ripping by. But it looked like you had lots of woodland around you, which was really nice. I got a lot of really, I got a lot of like tall trees and stuff like this all around me. But you look like you were straight up in the hoohickeys. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Eating watermelon, so yummy. Carla, what do you need to know? Shit, I give you my address so quick. But then you're gonna tease me, boy. I know what the hell I did. My mouth's gonna be watering until it shows up. I was sitting just right. Now I gotta switch the other way. It says eating watermelon. I don't know why it popped up. Irish whiskey. Hey, buddy. How are you? Okay. When I go in the house, I'm gonna give you my address, my phone number, what time I go to bed, how I like my back rubs. No, I'm just kidding. You tell me how you like your back rubs. I don't give a fuck. I love deer meat. What do you got? You got deer? Is it elk? I can't remember what you said. I didn't care about that. I just like the venison. Salmon. I can buy salmon all the time. I don't have to fish for it. My internet just started buffering and won't stop. Later, JMAC. All right, buddy. Carla who? Carla me. Carla, shot girl. That's her stripper name. I bet she pissed herself the night I said that. It was an elk. What? What? You got an elk? Spit the seeds out. Oh, you got elk meat. Oh, shut up. Is that what she's saying? You still got elk? Is it elk? She's got elk. Oh my God! Now elk is hard to get. People don't give up their elk meat. Oh my God! I almost hit one night. Emmy, I'll let Emmy tell you that story. But we was coming off the mountain, and we're talking 12% grade, right? At night, Emmy was grabbing the wheel. She's like, "Oh my God!" We had 8 people in this suburban, and anyway, Emmy was freaking out too much coming down. I says, "Baby, why don't you just let me drive? I'm chill with it, you know. I'm cool." And they're like, "Yeah, let him drive because you're freaking us out." So she says, "Okay." And we stop, and I jump in the driver's seat and so forth. And we're driving down the mountain. She's like, "Drive in the middle, drive in the middle." Because, up in these dark mountain roads at night, there's nothing coming. And, you could see it winding up the mountain if it was. She says she likes to drive in the middle, so if anything jumps out, you got a fighting chance, on your lane. So I'm driving in the middle. I'm like, okay. And all of a sudden, this freaking elk comes out of nowhere. And his ass was like way over the hood and like mid windshield. You could hear his feet hitting the guardrails as he jumped over. He was almost tripping up himself. It sounded like almost. I mean, it was like inches. I almost had this thing's ass, and it was just the hugest bull elk you ever seen. The thing was massive. But I've never hunted elk, but I almost hit one, man. Woo! And all my wife could say was, "I told you so. I told you so." Like she had this premonition, man. I told you so. That's all she kept saying. But yeah, I love elk. Elk's good too. Hell yeah. Well, Carly, you're gonna get my address quicker than shit. This one was a bull. I have his rack in the garage. Gotta mount that stuff. Was it your husband, wasn't it? I got racks in my living room. I love racks. I'm gonna find a way to get a little rack up inside my camper or something. Pretty cool. A lot of elk on his sister's ranch. Oh, nice. No Bigfoot what? No Bigfoot creature? Is that what you're saying? No. I've heard one here in Oregon. It was years ago. There's nothing else that could have made that noise. That it was a howl. I knew what it was the second I heard it. It was coming out of a valley. And we were camping, and there's just this howl, this guttural howl that there's no way it was a coyote. I know coyotes howl. Even mountain wolves, I know their sound. They're just like big dogs. That this thing was a freaking guttural howl with something with the lungs that are about this freaking big. I mean, maybe if there was a silverback gorilla in the mountains of Oregon, it could have made that noise. Long of a howl for it to even be that. So, I've never seen a Sasquatch. I've seen footprints once, and I should have took pictures of it. I was up deer hunting with a friend of mine when I did deer hunt, and I found some prints. But I honestly thought that somebody was goofing around. I didn't think about it at the time. It was before finding the shows, finding Bigfoot and all that come on. And, you know, I'm originally from Boston, so when I seen these, I didn't really, I just took them as a prank. Because they were right through this, like, construction site where they were doing some logging. Yes, Oregon grown. There you go. Oh, I absolutely 100% believe in Sasquatch. I think, you know, it was like 50 years ago or 60 years ago, the mountain gorilla was found. You know, your silverback gorilla. By the way, Joe Mazza, look that shit up. I mentioned that one night. He's like, like I'm talking about fucking aliens eating at McDonald's. Look it up. They only found the mountain gorilla like 50, 60 years ago. So, and I'm getting older now, so it may be different, but fairly recent in the history of mankind. Um, Another deer has just been found somewhere in the world. You can look that one up. Recently found deer species. It was supposed to have been extinct. Um, it's some animal that's in the deer family that's pretty tall. Uh, it's like a deer, but it's damn near as tall as a horse, kind of thing. Its neck, and they just found that. So I believe it's very possible to have an elusive ape-like creature, if not the missing link itself. Um, Gigantothus, whatever the heck it's called. What was it? Gigantothus what's the second part? Epithecus. Something like that. I believe it's like that creature or something along those lines. Um, and here in Oregon, look, everything's named Sasquatch. This, big. If you're from Oregon, you know we got hotels, we got motels, you got gas stations, Bigfoot. You got restaurants, Bigfoot this, Bigfoot that. It everything's named Sas to the people that have been here for many many years. A lot of them will, you know, damn straight it's real. All those shows finding Bigfoot and everything, right here where I live, right here in Clackamas County. Thank you. Giganticus epithecus, or epithecus. That's what it is. Thank you. Um, anyway, they will all tell you right here in the Northwest, Clackamas County especially, is just filled with Bigfoot sightings. Um, um, I can't think of what his name is. Cliff Barackman from Finding Bigfoot lives right here. You know, Moneymaker comes here all the time. I think Bobo, he's from Washington. Um, you know, so isn't the girl. I, her name escapes me at the moment. The giant primate skeletons are like 15 feet tall and yes, I've seen those. I've seen those. So I truly, truly, truly believe in Bigfoot. It's right here. It's real. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe this summer we're camping just for the fun of it. I'll go out and see if we can't tree knock and get some kind of response and listen. Because where we go is pretty remote. You can't hear any kind of traffic. We're off the beaten path a little bit. It's definitely Sasquatch or Sasquatch country. I shouldn't say area because it's not like they're like hanging around all the time, but it's definitely squatchy over there. And that's right here at Mount Hood. And Mount Hood, um, as you know, is very squatchy. But for those of you that are interested and you're just sitting around on your board, Google Clackamas County Bigfoot sightings or type Oregon Bigfoot sightings. But you'll see this is the place. You want to get deep in the woods, in places man doesn't really go. This is the place to go. Oregon still has uncharted um, wilderness. It's one of the few places left on the planet, that has uncharted wilderness. So this is the place. People die all the time out here in the winter. They go up. They get their new 4x4. Hey, Joanna. They get their new 4x4 and they get up here in Oregon, up by the mountain, and they start driving and they're going, oh, here's Road 17B. That's it. Road 27. And they take Road 27 and they're like, hey, yeah, I'm off road and this is great. And they get in 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 miles and the snow gets deeper and then they get stuck and the weather changes. Now they go to backtrack to get out. They can't get their vehicle out. The wife's pregnant or sick or frail or of age. And that's how people die out here in the damn forest. The other ones are the ones that climb our mountain. Now, you want to go hiking and climb a mountain, you can do this without ropes and picks and all kinds of stuff. You can climb this mountain up here. But once you hit, I don't know, 9,000 feet, there's real crevices up there. Maybe 10,000 feet. There's real crevices. And you could be walking right across it, and down you go. And the problem is, for $5, you can buy an EPIRB. And it's an emergency device that goes on your body. You can rent at the lodge here at Mount Hood, Oregon, before you venture out in those trails. And if you get lost, not only do they find your car in the parking lot, but your EPIRB goes off. And they can rescue you by helicopter or by mountain rescue fast. But people go, oh, I'm a hiker. I know what I'm doing. I do this all the time and this and that. But then they get up there and some shit happens. And now it feels like they're on the side of K2 and they could have fixed it with $5 piece. A $5 electronic satellite device that they rent. So that's a real thing out here. People got to pay attention. They just think, oh, I can go hike it. We got ice caves. Y'all still are be back. On the way to get ran back. Okay. We have ice caves on the mountain here, and I think on the south side of the mountain. You can hike it. You get in there, and it's literally like these magical tunnels of ice and shit. But I can't do it. I'm not even gonna try. It'd be my luck. I'd get up there and something will collapse, or my hip would give out, or I dream about it, but I can't do that. I'd love to. That'd be some legacy photographs there, because not everybody can go get those. You gotta earn those. Same with the rivers, man. These people come. So Oregon's filled with rivers. You know, they call us the city of bridges because we got so many bridges going over. You know, we're known as the city of roses and the city of bridges and this and that. I think us and what is it, Belgium or something, with the bridges that cross because we got all these river streams and stuff. But anyway, what happens is spring hits and you get your first day where it's 70, 80 degrees, you know, and all these people go, yeah, and they rush down to the river. Then they get in that river and the river looks like glass, you know, and they throw on their bathing suit and they get out there and they paddle around in the shallow stuff and the water's chilly, you know, but it's not too bad, right? Then they get out just a few feet and that glassy water, 6 feet underneath the water, is raging like hell. And that shit's ice cold. Then what happens is they get sucked into that, and if they're good swimmers, they can get up out of that. But then they realize, wait a minute, that the shallow water over there by the beach was nice, but this shit's cold, and now my muscles are starting to fail. And then they can't swim because their muscles give up. And it doesn't matter. You could be the world's biggest bodybuilder. When hypothermia sets in, all of a sudden, you're like this. You can't control your emotions. So even though you're a very strong person, your muscles become uncontrollable, and as a result, you go down. So I know that from being a boater here in Oregon, because I boated for a number of years. And that you just turn the scanner on, and every single year, this time of year, we have drownings. They go out there in their, you know, in their kayaks, and they don't wear their vests. You know, if you get a vest, you get a fighting chance. But these people take off their vests and stuff. They get in their kayak, they get flipped over. Like I said, hypothermia and so on. Where's the vest? Floating down the river. The way you get killed in your extreme sports or just driving your car down the road is because you get comfortable. And when you get comfortable, you make mistakes. And you don't respect your environment or what your hobby is or your extreme something or your car, that's when accidents happen. Yeah, I've been talking to myself for about 30 minutes now. Talking to myself because no one else is talking. Now I sound like you know who. Hey, Carla. I was rambling. It's nice out. I don't want to go in the house because then it's dinner and bedtime. I was going to do a fire, but the internet's too quiet tonight. Or YouTube's too quiet tonight, so. Yep, it's still light out. Obviously, you can see. The sun's dropping down that way to the west. It's east behind me here. But yeah, man, we'll get you the address. How much do you think it would be for shipping? Have you ever done it before? I forget what state you're in, but I'll be glad to pay for shipping. Shouldn't have to cost you anything, but be cool like that. All right, we'll work it out. I'll pay shipping. I don't care what it is. We'll send it first before you send it, so you don't even have to feel it. That'll be the deal. I'll pay you, and then you can ship it. And that way you don't even feel it. And you'll have more room in your refrigerator for more. Ooh, I'll do a video just for, I'll be like, hey, look at this. I'll cook something up. Maybe it'll be my first mukbang. Now I do mukbang, but I mean a real mukbang. I've never really done it. I've eaten a cheeseburger on a camera or something, slice of pizza, but I never did like I never ate like a special meal or something. I think tonight I'm gonna watch El Chapo on Netflix. They got the El Chapo series, and it's in English, so it's really cool. So I think I'm gonna watch that. I think I was at like the seventh or eighth. It's not a series, but episode. There's a whole mess of episodes. I think I'm gonna grab one more Coke, one more drink, and I'll visit with y'all until I finish that drink and a little tobacco, and then I'm gonna check in for the night because it's so it's 8 o'clock. So yeah, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Yeah, the house is quiet, so I'll probably throw a sandwich together. I don't think it's gonna be a big dinner night because kids aren't home and Emmy's in bed. So yeah, one of them. Did you hear the birds chirping? Zupa soup and homemade cheeseburger. What's Zupa soup? What's in that? Is that like a pasta? Like a noodle or something? So it sounds like type of noodle. Jet flying by. It's cold out tonight. Oregon's funny like that. It's like it can be like literally 97 today, for example, right? Which it wasn't, but let's say today's 97 degrees, and then tomorrow it'll be 63. And people are going, oh, thank God it's not 93 degrees. But in that one day, your body gets kind of acclimated, like really quick to it. Then the next day, when it's 63, I got a fake hip, I've had a back injury, and sometimes it's just, wow, kicks into the joints and really just kind of, 49 years, I'm almost 50 and I've been beat up a little bit. So I kind of feel it. And today's one of them days. I'm kind of just Sitting around. Emmy couldn't even get up. Zuppa is potato soup with spicy sausage and potatoes, cheese, and kale or spinach. Okay, it's an Italian dish. Potato soup with spicy sausage, potatoes, cheese, and kale. I'm gonna make that because it sounds like something my wife would love. She's a soup. I'm not a big soup person. I love clam chowder. I love lobster bisque. I do like a potato soup or potato chowder. So that sounds kind of chowdery. Is that with the cream? Do you use a cream with that, or is that just a clear sauce? Let's see. The sausage, it could be a clear sauce, almost like a French dip sauce or something. Azou sauce. They serve it at all, but they make it better. Nice. I bet you do. Nothing better than homemade food. No, sir. So, what's the base? Like, is it cream or is it clear? Like, what's the base to make it the soup? Chicken stock. Okay. And I add cream cheese. So it is kind of a chowder, right? Because once you add the cream, it gives it like a chowdery consistency, correct? Creamy consistency. It's more or less like a potato chowder, but you've got kale or spinach. And out of the two, I don't know. Spinach is pretty good, and my taste buds are enough that I could tell the difference between the kale and the spinach. And I'd have to, if I was going to make it, I'd say I'd go with the spinach. I would say the spinach is probably the more authentic version of that. And then I can get a nice spicy sausage down the street, fresh. There's a meat guy. Sounds really good. Right now, too, because it's chilly. Yeah, see, spinach, that's the way to go. Now, do you use pure whipping cream or do you use a percentage, like half and half or something? Oh, you make your own sausage. Nice. Do you have one of the little machines that puts the skin on it? Or do you just do it like Hamburg? You know what I mean? Like sausage, like in the Hamburg type form, or sausage in its roll? Both. La-ti-da. Forget the name of the video, but I seen a guy stuffing sausages bare with his hands. And he'd grab it and he would like squeeze, 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 and it would fill up out the back. Right, okay. So hi, Becca, welcome back. I have a KitchenAid mixer, and it has I don't have it. It's set up for the attachment. I don't have it, but I want to get the pasta one, and I want to get the grinder for the sausage. But if you're good, you can squeeze it, and then it shoots out of the tube. I seen that on TV. I'm like, that's how you do it. If you're gonna make it authentic, make it authentic. But Carla, yeah, I gotta get that recipe because it actually sounds good. Zuppa. It sounds creamy. It sounds, yeah. And the cream and the spinach would go much better than. I order the attachment now. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Um, yeah. Well, I don't do the sausage. Carla does the sausage. I cook, Becca. If you check out my channel, you'll see I do cooking videos and stuff. But I try to cook primitive. This is like in-house cooking we're talking about. But actually, it's not, because anything that you cook in the house, you can do in the dirt. I, just, well, I could show you how to make this dish that she's talking about. I bet I could cook it on an open fire. Oh, nice. Burger from. You know what we get now and then is buffalo. Because they sell it in the stores, but you can't, you're not supposed to buy like game, stuff or whatever. But now and then, like once a year, you can get buffalo, which is really nice and lean, and rocks going. Burgers and different meals with the buffalo. Yeah, yeah. I'll probably do some indoor cooking. See, I do cook indoors too, but my videos, like I'm trying to do like, primitive cowboy type cooking, you know what I mean? But you never see me, you just see my hands. You got an Indian friend that gets it, that you get, oh, right on. You know what's funny is I thought I could cook. I thought I was damn good. Now, Erica, she's the one that does the jewelry, and she takes my wife's crystals and she makes jewelry and they sell it together and all this and that, right? Erica can cook like Ramsay. I mean, and she bakes cakes too. She makes wedding cakes and graduation cakes and I'm talking about like front window stuff, kind of shit you look at in the window when you're walking down the street, you stop. I mean, she's just so talented. But she cooks different though. Like, she did stuffed chicken with cream cheese wrapped in bacon one night. And I do mine, but she does hers, and hers, you didn't want to cut into it. It was absolutely. I needed cooking lessons from them. Yeah, Rebecca. My cooking videos, as I'm cooking, I'm putting up the ingredients so you can pretty much see what I'm doing. And you can do it in your kitchen. I'm just doing it over an open fire because it's more difficult and it's all ASMR stuff. You don't hear me talking. I don't speak. It's just the crackling fire, the tapping of the pan, you know, and a little bit of music now and then. Rebecca, I love to cook, and JMACK is awesome. Oh, thank you. But I can cook inside too. I can do lasagnas, and I can do pretty much anything that I look at a recipe. It's like off the top of my head, I can do maybe 10, 12 dishes, I suppose, and I guess once you know how to cook, you cook anything. But I've got like my big recipes that I know, but I could pretty much look at something online. Like what I will do, for example. Okay, like if Carla sent me elk, I would go to the internet and I would type elk recipes, and I'd look at the recipes, I'd look at the results, and during the recipe, I would read their ingredients and go, okay, I like that, but I would change this, and I would do that. I get the general idea of a type of dish, and then I season it, to my liking. Um, like sometimes, some dishes call for that saffron, saffron. And I've got saffron, and I've got everything. I've got a whole wooden box. I should show that sometime. It's a big buck deer. And you open up the box, and I got all my spices in there that I use. I never show that. It's in one of my videos sitting on the ground, though. In one of the Dutch oven videos. Editing takes too much time. Yeah, when I do one of my fancy cooking videos, um, it's probably a couple hours because, to be honest with you, when I'm cooking the meal, it looks like I cook it up and it's done. But I did take different shots and I do this and that, and the meal's hot, but it isn't always steaming hot because it's taking time to do different shots, but it's like the TV thing. But but you can't cook the meal pretty much as we're doing in the time that we're doing it. So Most anything you can cook at a campfire in 15, 20 minutes, you know. People murder their steaks, for example. You know, a steak, you only do about 2 minutes per side. Same with chicken, depending on the thickness, you know, 2 minutes, 30 seconds per side. You know, if you want to bake stuff, you sear it like that, and then you put it in the oven and bake it. And if when you bake it, you should put something in the bottom, like if not just water, then you put a little bit of wine or a little bit of sauce or something to keep the chicken moist. You cover it up, that kind of stuff. You know, the basics. Even today, when I was making my soup, Amanda said, "Mom, this is when I should be recording you." Yeah, yeah. Carla, if you look cooking videos and you look them up on YouTube, there are some horrible cooking videos. People don't know how to film, they don't know how to cook, they don't know how to do nothing. So if you're doing any of that right, stick up a camera. And then, you know, if you want to edit something, if you don't like what you're saying in the video, you can put the YouTube music over it. You don't have to have your audio in there. And in Windows, if I don't, I use iMacs, but if you got Windows, you can use Windows Movie Maker and put text in certain spots. It's really easy. Click and drag and type your text, and it'll pop up. You know, or you in the beginning you put your ingredients, and then you just show your ingredients as you're doing it. You know, have fun with it. I made I did a Dutch oven roasted chicken. You can see it in my videos. It's got like 4,000 views or something. Cooking a chicken. So don't be ashamed of anything you do, any kind of hobby you got, because somebody else is trying to do it and they're not as good. Everybody's videos start out kind of, shaky. That's how you get better, is by putting up a video that isn't so hot. But then you learn, you're like, ooh, when you watch it, you go, I could have done this. I could have done that. While I was editing this one, I learned how to do this. You know, next thing you know, you're putting up quality stuff, great stuff. Everyone's going, I want to be like Carla. I want to be like Carla. I want to strip in the afternoons and make bunk cake at night. I want to be like Carla. You know what I'm saying? Mm. Yeah. I can only compare Carla to Martha Stewart. She's been through it all and can still make an apple turn over. Yeah. But I'm going to be, I tell you what, I mean, I know you guys are subbed, but keep an eye out, because in the next month or so here, I'm coming back with my cooking stuff. Um, I think I quit about early fall last year, but now I got a good feeling that we're back at it. Thanksgiving is spent in the woods camping, and Emmy's promising me we're getting back into it. So you'll be seeing me cook outside. You'll be seeing a lot of. That sounded like somebody's damn machine gun out in the woods. That was crazy. Um, yeah, Carla, there's going to be a lot more, and I think I'm going to try to make it a little more family inclusive. So I didn't like talking on my videos and stuff, but there may be a few where I cook, and while I'm cooking, I'll talk to everybody. So we'll see. It's the editing part where you're gonna make it look like it's cool, but Yeah, that'd be a whole new genre there. You bet. Even if it was down to like a bikini, people would be like, watching. It's like, oh my God, she's adding the butter. Okay, what does that mean? No, that means she just lost her top, dude. Whenever the butter comes out, you gotta watch the series. If she gets into saffron, forget about it. She starts tossing her nylons. That's funny. I want to cook. I kind of want to cook with my dogs, but I gotta. They're a little funny around food. It's just because of the breed. I mean, dogs are like that in general, but um, off camera in the background, English bulldogs. They kind of got a natural food aggression there, so sometimes we gotta feed them separate and stuff. Um, Lily's great with like before we got Lulu. It's dark here, and you have light. Yes, it's still nice out, but I don't know. It don't get dark till probably 9:30 or so, something like that. I think it's the West Coast though. But anyway, and I'm pretty far west, so yeah. I mean, next step, Japan. He lives in a wonderland. Yeah, it's like the next step is Japan. But oh man, I totally forgot what I was talking about. I think I was talking about food and cooking. Um, Shoot, I fell the other day and I hit my head. Right? I know there's some of you don't, but anyway, I coughed real hard the other day. I was sitting at my picnic table, and I live on a half acre, but my picnic table with my son and brother is actually on the hot top, kind of like I got a big long driveway and so forth, and it was in front of my car. So did Michael Jackson same time zone, JMAC? Yes, yes, same time zone. It was Michael. Um, but anyway, really hard, and I had that the doctor explained it to me. It's not that I was lacking oxygen or anything. When you cough, it happens with little kids too sometimes and older people. Um, there's a thing called vasal collapse or something. And I coughed so hard I cut off the blood supply to my head for a second. It's like when you're a kid and they're playing around, they grab the side of your neck. That's how he described it to me. Well, when I fell, I hit my head off the concrete. Something fierce, man. I ended up with, I had neuropathy around my neck and my shoulders for about 3 days, where if you touched my skin, it was like it was on fire. Kind of like people that have neuropathy or people with fibromyalgia complain of it. And I was numb from ear to ear in the back of my head for about an hour and a half after I fell. And I had tingling in both my hands. Well, I know what it is. We're getting near the 4th of July. People's fireworks are going on. But I really rang my damn bell. And I've noticed since I don't get a bleed in the back of my head. Did say I had a concussion. But I've noticed the past few days, I already have short-term memory problems. But like I'll stutter in the middle of my sentence or something will distract me and I'll completely forget what I was talking about. I'm forgetting. It takes me a minute to get back onto what the hell I was talking about. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. But I notice, like, it's to the point where I'm noticing it and I'm going, oh wow, I got my freaking bell wrong. Emmy got pictures, Carla, on the back of my head. It looks like somebody hit me with a bat. It's just this ring where I hit my head, and I had my other hat on. It's kind of an Australian leather hide hat, and I'm hoping that that was on my head and helped me absorb some of the ground. But um, yeah, I know I hit hard because I woke up. My jaw was hurting. Felt like I took a blow to the jaw. Everything. I was jacked up. I went in the house. Oh, when I first looked at Emmy, she was like this. She was shaking in my eyeballs, and I'm like, ooh. And I looked back at the ground, and I tell her, I says, I don't feel so hot. Help me. I told her I coughed and fell over. And I looked back up at her again, and it was doing it. So I went in the house to go lay down on the couch, and I laid down on the couch about 10 minutes. And that's when I started noticing all these other symptoms. And I've already had a back injury years ago. And you get the shingles with neuropathy. Um, but anyway, I started getting all these symptoms, and they were just kind of too familiar. I'm like, I need to go to the hospital. Or either you're driving me. I'm like, let's go. Give me the keys. I'm gonna drive to the hospital. And she goes, no, you're not gonna drive. I'm like, well, then take me. She goes, I'm not taking you. I'm calling an ambulance. So then she called an ambulance, and that's how I went. That was like last week. I'm still got kind of a freaking. For about 3 days, if I moved my head too fast, it felt swishy. But I feel better. I just keep forgetting shit, and I'm wondering if it's because of that. And it was so stupid. Like I didn't want to tell anybody because I just got out of the hospital for this freaking dog bite thing. A big ordeal, actually. It wasn't just a little couple stitches. It turned into this big infection in a hospital. I was in the hospital. I had to have surgery. I mean, like it was a big freaking thing. So, and I've been talking to everybody about it. So then I passed out and fell on my head. I didn't want to tell nobody about it because everyone like, you know what I mean? Like even Boomer was like, "Oh, people come in and they talk about all their illnesses and bumps and bruises and illnesses," and I'm sitting there going, "I still can't remember my fucking name." I didn't want to tell him. Oh, now that Dreamland just went live. That girl, I just want to hold her in my arms and just pet, just snuggle her. She's about 20 years old or something. And she just looks like a character out of Disney. She's the most innocent thing. She shows like pictures that she's drawn and just whatnot. I don't know what her deal is, but she just seems like a sweet girl. And she's in there, and she's listening to him. She's like, "Oh, he's a mod in my room. Should I block him?" Meaning me. And I just haven't said nothing to her since. But I was like, wow. It just kind of breaks my heart that she's hung up on Joe. And I'm like, please don't get hurt by this wacko. Don't, he had that other girl calling her a daughter and all this stuff. And then it just got terrible. I just don't want to see this little girl get hurt. Or like, exploited in some way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, screw. I turned my head for too long, Carla. Too long. And I need to watch him, you know what I mean? He's kind of weird. Like, oh, smash this. He sits back like he's, Cleopatra. All the while I was ignoring the other shit. But then I started seeing all the stuff with the girlfriends and this and that and the hangouts. Or how rude. And then he started to decide to blame me for it. Now you're going with me, huh? Francis is live. M. Julian. Reading my coat. But yeah. Right, yeah. He was okay because he was on the other side of a camera. But I, I mean, this is all stuff that he publicly said for the most part. And some people, they judge you by the company you keep. I don't want to be kept in that same freaking category. I got respect for women, and I certainly give respect to children. So, I don't know. That's a whole nother freaking speech. I don't want to get going on. Yeah. Irish whiskey's on his roof looking somewhere. He's like, where the hell is he? Hey, check it out. I got a feather in my cap because I think he killed a duck. But there's dropping them feathers all over the ground out there, so I stuck it in my cap. I almost lost a great friend because of Joe. No, listen, Mike, here's why that shit went down. When he started saying that Mike Earl was a guy that's been ruining his channel for 2 years and blah, 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 blah. When he started saying that shit, I said, bullshit. Right away, I said, bullshit. But he kept saying it. So I said, okay, since that's what you say and your word, okay. I don't need no part of him then. So I went and blocked Mike Earl and Belinda. Told him why. 2 seconds later, he had a freaking horse prod in his ass going, what did you say about me? Lying motherfucker. I knew, Mike. I love you too, Carla. I didn't use Mike. Joe, I mean, I guess I wasn't thinking Mike was really talking shit about me. I just didn't believe that. I just don't believe. I've known him for too long and on a different scale than Joe. I think Mike didn't show up to Joe until after I did the first rant video. I think that's how he found him. I may be wrong, but I think that's how he stumbled into Joe. But um, I've known Mike for a couple of years, at least not quite as long as Joe, but as soon as Mike showed up in our group, I've known them, and they're decent people. And I was like, no way, he knows me. He knows I'm fucking. He knows what I'm like. You know, he's got the same kind of humor. The guy messages me every day. Every time he finds a coin, he shows me. He's on Facebook. You know, I'm like, why would he be fucking shitting on me? And I'm like, no. So I let Joe fucking, yeah, okay, Joe, fuck you then. I won't deal with these people. And then he's saying, then he goes live and he goes, oh yeah, JMAC made Belinda and Mike, you know, he talked them into leaving me. Fucking did. You did it with your own mouth, you idiot. I watched some, but so effing bored. I didn't go to. I know. Yeah, yeah. He's always like, Jay, look what I found. You know, it'll be just any time, 10 o'clock at night, midnight, whatever. I look at my phone. There's a text from Mike Earl because he found some coins or something he couldn't identify or a weird piece of metal. Or we both metal detect. He does it a whole lot more than me, but and he's really good at it. He finds some good stuff. I could search all day and not find anything worth talking about. Seems like every time he comes home, he's got a coin from the 30s, 40s, teens, you know, all kinds of shit. Coins to me because he doesn't have any shops up there. The guy's gonna mail me his valuables to get them appraised and checked out as best I can, and he's gonna go behind my back and tell Joe, "Boy, don't trust him. He's the bad guy." Whatever, Joe, you're nuts. Friggin' idiot. That's not sun on the skull. That's the I got solar lights in my bushes and stuff, and it's starting to light up the skull. So yes, it's light out, but the beam that's on the skull is just from a light. It's not the sun. Irish whiskey's going. What the hell? It's 10:30. He's getting sun. Going to mail them to you when she gets paid first. Yeah, well, like I said, what I'll do is I'll take them down. There's 2 or 3 shops in the area. I'll go out with Emmy and we'll go see if we can get them looked at. And they tell me what they're worth and if they're willing to buy them, what they're willing to pay, and then I'll let you know. And we'll either send them back for sentimental value, or you can sell them and I'll send you whatever they give you. Ugh. But I could probably also get you those little, it's kind of like a long coat. It's like a 3/4 length coat. When I sit down in the chair, it comes up around my ears and shit. I just can't stand it, so I'm always pulling it down. But it was just chilly out enough tonight to wear it. Lulu! Must be getting loud. My dog can hear me. She's like, what are you doing, Daddy? No, Jay, how about right down the middle? Oh, no, no, no. Dude, you located them, you dug them. No, no, no. If they're talking some yard sale shit or something and you're trying to, maybe I'd take a cut, but not for your coins. Look at my camera. Joe Mazza must be haunting me. It's moving in and out. I'll start going like this. Not for your coins, man. You hunt those, you dig them. If I can get an honest opinion on what they're worth or if they're saleable or sellable, we'll get them looked at, I guess. I'll go with Emmy. Man, that camera's going cuckoo. The light's really changing now, but now it's about every 5 minutes you can visibly see the light changing. See, that was the problem with Joe's camera, where he's always bitching about, oh, he's like this, he's like this. It's lighting. So, I mean, you put enough light in your room and your camera will hold straight. You sit in a room with one little light bulb off to the corner and it's going to have a hard time trying to figure out where to focus. That's what's happening right now. So. I'm a fairly accomplished photographer, so I know my light and cameras. Like right now, it's starting to get pixely. You can see it in my hat. You see how it's starting to get pixely and so forth. The front-facing camera is starting to go, hey, what's going on? The ISO is picking up, and it's trying to autofocus and so forth. So now, when it gets dark out and I'm sitting by the fire and all that's happening, you don't really notice it so much because it's already kind of, it starts off with poor quality. But right now, as the light's changing, it's really affecting the camera. It's interesting. Trying to adjust the light. You can't adjust the light. I would have to do it here. I'd have to take out one of my floodlights that I got from my photography or something. It's what's in my living room. It's a panel. It's an LED panel. I could plug it in. It would light it up out here like daytime. But it's not quite warm enough out tonight. There's no friends over to do that. But we will be doing that. I'll be doing that up at camp. We'll be sitting outside by the campfire. We'll be chit-chatting. I'll have it light up. And you guys will be part of it. They're sure dancing back and forth. That's funny. To me, this is interesting because I'm really seeing the camera on my phone do its limits. My hubby's fucking scaring me, asking if I have every. Why? Can you lose a gambling bet? We got everything locked up. Everything fucking locked up. Or he's got a scanner and he knows something's up. On my roof, let's see if you can see it. On my roof, I got a great big scanner because I listened to. See if I can flip it around and actually see what I'm pointing at. Come on. Um, you see that? Oops. Right in the middle, right there's a big spider antenna I got on my roof. That's how I listen to my scanner. It's knocked off my hat. But I use a home patrol. Come on. There we go. I'll find my hat. Ah, I need my hat went off. I use a home patrol one. The home patrol 2. It's a nice scanner. You just have to type in your zip code, basically. It's a trunk tracker, and it will track all the all the big city. There's a piece of my windmill sitting there. It'll track all the big city stuff and everything, but like your most of the big city stuff is now a trunked system. It's been like this for a long time, and for example, when they're talking, that you got an 800 megahertz scanner, you can hear them talk, but you can't stay with the whole conversation because it jumps and goes to another channel. And a trunk tracking scanner will stay with that conversation, no matter where the frequencies jump to. And that's what the home patrol is a trunk tracker. So I listen to all the police, fire, EMS stuff. I used to be a medic, so it all interests me. Dogs keep barking in the house. Front of my house is funny. Like my kid's got neon. He's got LED lights in his room. Oh, now it's green. So like our room's got this orange hue to it. Then there's a bathroom. Then my kid's room has got it's either green or blue. I keep seeing. He's got LED lights that are changing. Then my front living room changes colors too. So who's still in the chat? Look at that. I did the Joe Mazza one time. I'm probably going to cut out of here in a few minutes. Mike, Cole. Yeah, didn't have to type that. Could have just said, I am. Fuck. I was just curious. Like, I'm never going to ask my people, type this. Wait a minute, smash that like button. And then I'm going to go to your web page. I'm going to go to your YouTube page and see in your liked videos if you've liked my video. Whatever. I turn my shit off. My liked videos are private because I don't want person A that may not like person B know that I'm always clicking their like, or vice versa. So I keep my liked videos. They get their like, but it's private because I don't want to steer. I've seen how this community works sometimes, and people getting mad just because if you stumble across me and I'm in a chat that you don't like, it's because you're there too, and I don't care. But if I'm smashing all over my webpage, all over my Facebook page, my YouTube page, I like this guy, I like this guy. I may run a very conservative, quiet channel, and the guy that I watch is some heavy metal, freaking crazy mental guy that I think is funny, or it could be something very controversial that interests me for whatever reason, and I don't feel the need to have to share that with everybody on YouTube. So that's why I don't show my likes. And he doesn't understand that and can't get that. And that's probably what part of his problem is. And the people that don't like him, that are harassing him, it's probably because he does show his shit and he does go to certain places. He goes to all these other web pages and people, and I don't know. I'm speculating, but just a man enough to say I'm speculating. I don't know the truth. Lulu, that's Lulu. I think she hears me talking outside through the bathroom window and she's barking. Emmy's sound asleep in bed. No one else is home. The dog's in there barking at her. I think she. So, like, my kid's window's open. Yeah, my son's window's open, and I'm just outside talking, so I probably sound like somebody in the house. He invited me to all different places, and I'm glad I never did. Yeah, house parties and TikTok and Instagram, Twitter. I think he's got some other WhatsApp is one of them. I think, or WhatsApp or something. So I need to. I have to join like WhatsApp. WhatsApp, I think it is, because I'm going to be a moderator. I think for this news channel. Um, I don't want to say the name, but there's a big news channel that I watch, and you actually have to go through all kinds of stuff to become a moderator. They don't just mod you. You know, you got to go through an interview, and then you have to belong to these apps so you can have these little meetings with people so you know what's up. But I've been watching the guy for like a year and a half. I think I'm gonna mod there, but a couple videos got to come down off my stuff, and I got to watch my P's and Q's because it's a legit deal. So pretty cool though. My dog is actually annoying me, and I don't know why she's barking. I'm comfortable in my lawn chair, and I really don't want to get up. Sun's going, I mean, it's gone down. It's just kind of like dusky sky now. Yeah, if I fall through with it all and do it, I'll tell you where it's at. But it's a unique news channel. I'll say that, and it's very up to the minute, like quicker. It's quicker than like CNN and this kind of stuff because a lot of the information that he shares comes from people's Twitters. So, for example, say there was a major earthquake right here. I don't know how he does it, but he finds a way to pick up the people in this area's Twitter accounts and this kind of stuff. And when people start commenting, he follows them. He's like, okay, you're right there right now. And as you're posting, he's sharing it to the world. And he'll comment to you, and if you comment back, he'll share that. And be like, okay, now she's saying this. There's ambulances in the neighborhood. Okay, they're searching house to house. Then he'll go to the scanner. You know, there's an app that I use. It's just called Scanner, I believe. It's orange. It says Scanner. You can go listen to pretty much any scanner in the country that is broadcasting. So if there's a big incident in Louisiana, you know, you can listen to that. So he does that as well. But he watches all different types of social media. Like he'll watch, you know, Twitter, Instagram, all those things. And as long as it's a reliable comment from somebody that, you know, he can tell is in the area or has, like internet clout or, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Trustability, I guess is. Don't say what you're saying. Share what you post. Sorry, there's an airplane going by. There's an airport about 20 miles from me or so now, and then they come in a little low. Sid's dad coming to you from 7,920 feet, Green Mountain Reservoir camping. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. I just sitting outside. I was gonna have a fire today, and I was waiting till dark, but I've been on for like 3 hours, and honestly, it's kind of quiet tonight. So I was probably gonna end up going back in the house, but yeah, I was thinking about it. You catch anything yet? Well, he's way up there, so he's at 7,900 feet, so that's that's just below your average snow line or so. So if he's in any kind of mountains, he's probably got some snow cap going on about another couple thousand feet. Yeah, Jay, it's bored with me. Just to let you know, I have another tennis ball tube of fire tender coming your way as soon as I get back in town. Oh, nice, awesome. I was thinking about trying to make those discs because I like how those tear. I like how they tear with the cotton inside. I use big chunks of wax and stuff my wife has and all kinds of stuff, but from the Sensies. But that thing really, you can kick off a good fire with that thing. Just to let you know, I have another. Oh wait, I already read that. Oh, no, we ran into a rainstorm break out of free fishing tackle in the morning. Wait till you see the photos. Oh, nice. All right, check it out. Are you fly fishing? Sounds like trout or something. If you're that high up, it's got to be trout. They're already made, my friend, and I don't know with him though, man. It, I even want to say what he sent me in the mail. Let's just say it's well preserved and carefully used. I used all the other stuff though, but that stuff is more for fun. I show people, be like, hey, check this out. Like, see, I'm getting ready to start doing a bunch of camping with my friend John. That's why I want to get all my stuff together. Because, yeah, I'm going to be doing some fires. There's $20 bounty on pike in this lake. Okay. If I catch one, I can turn it in and get 20 bucks. Wow. Usually up here they have like $3, I think, for I can't remember what fish it is, but now and then they do that, and it's like $3 a fish, not 20. That's a good time there. Hell yeah. Oh, $20. Oh, $20. Hmm. 7,000 feet, dude. I bet that's our 7,900 feet. That's a pretty chilly evening. Am I right? It's got to be a chilly evening. I know my mountains. It doesn't matter where they are. Pike, this lake. Oh, yes, they don't like pike in this lake. With me, thanks to you. Oh, did you buy one of those sets? Right on. I turned into I turned into naked and afraid, laugh aloud. So in and out, bro. Nah, no problem. My wife loves that show. She acts like it's for the adventure, but I think she just likes the guys' butts. She wouldn't tell me. Oh wait, what did I say? I'll let you get to bed, my friend. I'm about to crash myself. You have a good one. Yeah, you too, man. You too. I'm gonna sign out here in a little bit. We're expecting snow tomorrow. Yeah, hell yeah, it's 7,900 feet. Absolutely. I figured you were right at the snow line right there. So 75 degrees out. I want to see them and shit and bugs, etc. I want to say, I want to see them eat shit and bugs, etc. Nice. Oh, it's gonna be good. Now, can you eat pikes? You can eat pike. So I wonder if you could just bring back the heads. Maybe you just bring back the heads, man. I don't know. Eat them some bitches. I eat anything. I eat the ass out of dead rhino if it tastes good. You know how to cook it. Snakes. Oh, shit. No, I'm not eating no damn rats. Ugh. Naked and afraid, depending on where it was. If I was in a real primitive place and these damn rats weren't eating garbage, then yeah, I could eat the rat. Because it's just, once it's cooked, it's meat, and I don't give a shit. I'll eat anything. But if it's like, oh yeah, they're in the wilderness and we're just on the edge of like Toronto, no. No, don't put me in a local forest and tell me that I'm eating rat, it's coming down the street from Farmer Joe's pigs. Yeah, yep, yep. But other than that, meat, I can do any meat. Film stuff in different places. I think it's street smarts. Yeah, they film stuff in different places, and I know that like sometimes their wilderness isn't exactly wilderness. They're just restrained to a certain area, and depending on what's there, you eat. But I tell you though, if I ever got one of those and I was on the beaches like they go, forget about it. I eat all kinds of stuff out of that ocean. I eat all kinds of stuff. If I can catch it, if it's there, snails, shells, whatever, I'll eat it. It's all protein. Um, I don't know if some of these guys go crazy when they see berries and fruits and stuff. And more than once, I've seen these guys shitting themselves. Talk to them more. Oh, I thought you was already went to bed. Yeah, good night, Sids. Oh, Sid. Sids. Sids. He died. This kid's a diet birth. So sad. Good night, Sid. No, George. First I would do protect from bugs. Yeah, yeah, I'd make a shelter for sure. And I could do all kinds of fire stuff. I could start fires 9 ways to Sunday. Hey, if they say, what's the one thing you want to bring? Fire kit. I want to bring my fire kit. Of course, you need some kind of knife or something, but if I got my fire kit, then I can burn wood and shove it against a rock and make a hell of a spear without having to like sand it down or nothing, you know what I mean, and hurt your hands. You just get a fire going, you singe the end of it, make a nasty spear off of that. Um, but yeah, it depends on what you're going for, I guess. But if I got fire, I'm warm, keeps predators away. You can make stuff. You can clean your water. You can drink good water if you can boil it. You know, there's some plants and stuff. Once you boil it, it's okay to eat. You know, kill all kinds of germs, take care of wounds. Hot water and shit's good for a lot of things. Yep. Then it would be like a knife, a decent knife, because then you can cut your food, you can make stuff. You know, you can make rope from the barks of trees and stuff. You strip it off and weave it and all that. Make rope, you can do all kinds of stuff. Set snare traps. Shit, all kinds of stuff. Amy said she'd make clothes. What is your list of most important? Okay, so I think a knife, like we'll just call it a Bowie knife. You know what I mean? Not a big sword, but just a chopper, cutter, slicer knife that's durable. Then, all right, so fire starter, a knife. Um, I don't know if we're lost or what, but I think with those two things, and then close clothing. But okay, so if I had those two things, my next thing would be to create shelter. Clothes take a long time to make, so I would sign up for naked. Oh my God, Belinda, naked and afraid. Mike would be like, I'm just hiding here under her boobs. I don't need a shelter. Mike's got his phone like wedged in there, watching movies. So anyway, I would fire starter, a knife, and then I would build a shelter because I got some material to burn. You know, which is a problem. You need fuel. So, but if I got that knife, I get some material to burn, and I would create a shelter, and then this is probably in my first 24 hours. Create a shelter, get my fire set up. Um, all the while, if any food opportunities pop up, I think I would take them. Then I would try to come up with some kind of clothing or skin protection and start hunting. But probably the next day, actually the next day between this stuff, this other work, I'd probably go on a hunt, try to get something. Um, Squirrels. I Shelter first. Just never know about the weather. Yeah, I was asking seriously. No, seriously. Yeah, I. If that's what I had, if I had just fire starter and a knife, my first thing would be shelter. Because it rains or it gets cold at night. You can't help hypothermia and shit. Your muscles get weak, and then your mind might want to do all kinds of things, but you just can't do it. But yeah, once I had food and I knew that I was okay for eating something, I think my time would be to try to make shoes and you know some kind of use big leaves or if I was good at the weaving, I'd weave some like a shirt or over shawl or something. I don't know. It just depends on what's in my environment, I guess. I think if I was in the desert, if it was like a desert thing, I think wherever there was like big cacti thing and stuff like that were around, I think I would cut them down. And during the day, that moisture and everything, I think I would use it as a shelter. Try to travel in the dusk and at night, maybe not so much during the day. Because, you could travel for about 4 or 5 hours as the sun's going down. And you'd probably do just as good. So, that's another problem. I gotta find out how my dog's barking. I want to know how a man and woman are naked in the woods for 21 days without something happening. Well, you add about 12 cameramen, spouses, wives, uh, the audio mic, the medics that are around, the, you know, the real scene. They're naked and afraid and walking through the shows, but they've got cameramen that are following them and stuff. They just don't assist and they don't, you know, it's like talking to a ghost. Sometimes they talk to those cameras and the cameraman ain't talking back. It depends on where you were really, and then I'm watching is in Mexico jungle. Yeah. See, that's the truth. I mean, if you're on a beach, you don't get the trees of a jungle. You don't. If you're in the desert, you don't have that. If you're in, you know, the jungle, you may not have a lot of stuff. But you get rain. If you can get rain, certain plants hold water in their stems, but you get large leaves. Large leaves can act like clothes, make shoes out of, and then the wildlife. I just don't know if I could do insects. I could cook maggots up, big tree maggots, and that kind of stuff. Worms, I could eat worms, sizzle them up. Um, when was a holiday as far as I feel? Yeah, right? I know what you mean. 35 degrees out, you're on a tropical beach, there's crabs and clams everywhere. The chick next to you got an ass that'd stop a freight train. No, no, when I say maggots, these are like the size of your pinky. They're grubs. You peel back the bark on a tree like behind me here, and you find where the bark's been kind of worked at a little bit. When you peel back that bark, there's these grubs in there that eat the bark, and they're a big, fat, short worm. Um, they look like a maggot, but they're 10 times bigger, the size of your pinky. And you literally just toss them around in the pan for a second, eat them. A lot of guys, a lot of these mountain men will eat them, raw. But I watch the show, I can't do what they do. You say that until you're really trying to survive. When you can't just go, okay, tap me out, take me back to the hotel. If you were really lost in the woods, you know, let's take away exposure. I mean, let's not put you up in the ice mountains or something, but let's take you in the summer, drop you in the woods, you know, where the worst you're gonna deal with is some rain. You'd be amazed what you could do and for how long. You know, you'll find a stream, you'll see some fish, you'll find a way to catch them, or something. You could, I've seen your feet. You could probably live for days off that toe jam, just off the meat in between the toes. No, but seriously, you'd be amazed what you could do. You want to know the truth, asshole. um, this is something very true that happens uh, with people that are lost in the forest or that are lost in the desert. Even in inclement weather, even in really cold weather, they they get lost. They start getting confused, and they tend to take off their clothing, and they discard their clothing. They'll be hiking up a hill and they get warm, and off goes the shirt, off goes the this, and then they discard it. They don't carry it with them. They drop the stuff, and it's kind of a phenomenon. And then what happens is when they're found, they're usually naked and they die from exposure. And people will do this in snowy weather, in rainy weather, in really, really hot weather. When they're lost and confused and fighting for their life, they tend to disrobe. It's kind of weird. If that ever happens, do your best not to do that. Just keep that in your mind. I don't know where some of you live, but for me, it's a reality. I could easily take my truck, like tomorrow. You guys watch me, you'll see tomorrow. We're up in the mountains and in the woods tomorrow. And it's nothing. I like to go touring, and I find log roads, and I go off and about. And it's a reality for us. I mean, we could go out and literally get the truck stuck and be 15 miles off road, deep in a logging road that's been forgotten 4 years ago, and nobody's around, because it's a holiday weekend and I'm camping and touring. That's how it happens. You don't wake up and go, oh, I'm going to go get lost in the forest or the mountains today. You know, it just, all of a sudden you're there and you're like, oh, shit. Nobody knows I came out here. I said I was going to get cigarettes and I went sightseeing 5 roads up. Slipped in the mud. Now the truck's stuck and nobody knows where I'm at. And sometimes, even with the best cell phone service, you get in some of these valleys and stuff, it's gone. You shoot. I mean, we can drive down the road just a little bit, and as soon as you turn off the road and get into the forest, the phone signal's gone. And if, like our coast, when we drive to our coast, it's like being on another planet. You don't like, once you step on the sand, like, well, even the campsites, probably from the beach to about a quarter-mile inland, there's no cell phone service. Where we go on our beach, there's nothing. You have to go to the top of one of the mountains, and you can check your email or check some Facebook thing. But when we're up at the coast, any videos you see of us will be like recordings. JMAC, I love you. I gotta sign off. I'm falling asleep. Much love to the whole family. What holiday is that, Jay? Yeah. So for example, Mike, like, we tend to camp. We like to have our Thanksgiving in the forest. We haven't for a couple of years. We will this year, but we haven't for a couple of years because of health and my hip and stuff. But us and another family of ours, and all our kids, we like to camp in the forest. And you could be up there on Thanksgiving where nobody's out there really. You get skiers that go up to the lodge and they ski, and they're at the campgrounds and stuff, but there's really not a lot of people up there. So if you go up there and you just take the wrong turn and go sightseeing for even a couple of miles and nobody knows where you are, you could be there for days. Got ran, settled in, hooked back up. Oh, cool. Or it could be a summer holiday and people are just at camp and stuff, and they're camping and they're around the area, but you get up into these mountains and there's just dirt roads that go off into logging roads, And sometimes people won't go up those roads for days, a week, and you get up there with your truck and stuck in the mud, slide off the road, get into too deep of snow, and you could be just 5 miles away and be screwed because you're in too deep into the forest for your phone to work, and nobody knows where you're at. You know, you can go, oh, okay, I'll just follow my tracks out. But if it, like, say you can't, say you get up there and you're stuck at night, you go, all right, I'll leave in the morning. Well, if it snows overnight, you may lose your tracks. And then you got to remember, did I turn right? Did I turn left? And snow in these mountains overnight can be a couple of feet. So then you're walking up to your knees and you're like, wait a minute, what the hell did I get into? That's how it happens. Benny Loco knows. She did it in the desert. She went out and about. Nobody knew where she went. She just went, took a couple turns, went to go cool off, and the damn car sunk in the sand. And you know, she had a hard time getting out of there. That's a real problem. So we all got our own dangers in the areas that we live. Some of us live in, like, places where nature itself is kind of a danger. Meow, meow, meow. Is it bedtime? Yeah? Is, is it bedtime? Well, cat's in the window. Is it bedtime, baby? Is that what Lulu's been telling me? My wife's long been to bed. The dogs are going, come on, take me to bed. Now the cat's out the window yelling, behind the screen. I know, you won't go outside, don't you? Yeah, but you're indoor kitty. Your feet are too fancy to let you outside for some hawk or coyote. Shit goes south quick. Yeah, yeah, it just happens. And when you leave your house, that's not your intention. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go for a ride. Like, I've told Emmy I'm gonna go up to we're up at camp and I'm gonna go up to the store and I see a pretty little, road that looks cool and I go up into the woods. You know, you can just get screwed easy doing that unless I tell her. And the way I do it, and I used a road named 27 earlier, and it's one of the roads that I like to go sightseeing on. It's here on Route 26 in Oregon, and anyway, I'll tell Emmy, hey, I'm gonna go right up Road 27. Like, I'll see it the day before, and I'll go, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna go right up there. Or if I go to the store and I see an interesting road, I'll come back from the store and I'm gonna say, hey, I'm gonna go take Road 16 up to where it goes. And that way, if I don't come back or something's weird, she can go. He said he was gonna go up Road 16. So that's what I do to keep myself kind of cool like that. And you got a 4x4 truck or something. It's fun. You get out there, you start climbing some rocks, going around some bends, some mud holes, and you know. I'm getting out of the Urbex this weekend. Yep, by hook or by crook. Yep. I was just talking about that. We're going to be doing a lot more camping and mountain time and ocean time, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, one or another. So, Emmy says she's feeling up to it. So, we're just waiting for it to warm up just a little bit more, and then we're going to get busy. There'll be a lot of videos of us outside and live streams at different places. But anyway, with that, folks, getting cold. The sun has set here in the northwest, and my cat's yelling, my dogs are barking, Emmy's in bed. It's time to go put on some Netflix and chill. Probably more chill. I mean, more Netflix than chill, but I'm going to whip up a sandwich and I'm going to go nestle down. Maybe some of you people will go live and I'll watch you guys. But I guess until tomorrow, the next time, y'all have a great evening and be safe and keep that shutter shaking. And we'll talk to you soon, guys. Good night, Mike. Good night, Benny. Good night, Carla. Whoever.